Yeah. Better days, I pray for better days. Working hard cause I want extra pay. Talk to them seeds, but you must demonstrate. Cause it's your ways that they gon' imitate. Non-violent. Sometimes I wish I would've went to college. Frown proudly. Cause where I'm from, they hate you when you smiling. Your face should be your gun. You can't leave home without it. The children being grown, cause all the parents acting childish. You show them your reality, I bet they doubt it. You tell them all about your dreams, that's when they out it. Your own blood. Ain't no family no more. They do you badly for show. You try to patch up your soul, Lord knows you on a mission to show him you so submissive. The prayer said in silence, you know the devil can hear him, pay attention. Know the war's within, how much time do you spend? Try to balance your zen, then again, losses is lessons. You tell me you trying to win, we know about saving money. You tell me you trying to spend that blood on it. Sweat, tears, you put that love on it. Your best years was just a dumb moment. You tired of going hungry, can't deal with fake making your life lonely. Your lack of faith that left your soul boning. But you gon' work and you gon' strive, do what it takes to survive. What is truth, what is a lie? You know that war's inside. Some get draped into the fake, they don't know what to decide. Wrong choice, meet your demise, keep that between you and I. You realize, some people you gon' let go, you visualize. The things you need to feed your soul is on the rise. They not gon' wanna let you go, but it's alright. It's cool to bury what's gon' grow. Went from wrong to the right and to the dark to the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. Gotta hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. Wrong to the right and to the dark from the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. You just hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me. Yeah, I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me.
Don't be stressing on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah. This race called life. This race called life, yeah, yeah. Race called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm grinding cause I know that I'm gon' get it. I just gotta have vision, keep faith and be humble, and have some patience with it. I've been A1 since day one, been always on my job. I never been a fake, never had to steal and rob, cause I do good business, I'm too good with it. And even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing. But I hate when my bills are thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress up on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. I keep going and keep my faith in my pace, so I can win this race. Win this race called life. This race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life.
Yes, yes.
Race called life.
We are in the building. Titans Debate League. Coliseum Arguments. Shout out to all my supporters. Shout out everybody who helped me get here. Shout out everybody sharing the videos, hitting those thumbs up. Shout out all the new subscribers. Got a few new subscribers. Alright, let's stop this. Let's stop. How y'all doing today? Let me take this camera off so y'all can see me. Haven't seen me in quite some time, but here I am. Here I go. Y'all know how I do. I'm gonna add this and pause it. How y'all feeling in the day? Who we got in the building? Let me shout out our first four. We got Big Hemi in the building. Shout out Big Hemi. Got an ad from Big Hemi, one of his new tracks out. We're gonna play that at the end of the episode today. Shout out Holistic Wellness. Peace to you. Shay Bay, shout out to you. Bless B, you already know. How you doing today? I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking and checking in with me. Appreciate you. Today's episode, if you see the title, Trump sends Navy destroyers to start war with Venezuela. And let me pull up my little presentation that I got for you. Got a couple videos we're going to go over. Quick little news article I'm going to read a couple paragraphs from about what's going on. We're going to get into the history of how this all started. You know, they got a $50 million reward on Maduro. $50 million. Change my banner. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'll be thinking I got it all together. I can't do everything by myself. I appreciate you. And I don't even have my PowerPoint pulled up because I restarted my computer. So I don't have no glitches today. Okay, give me 1 second. I apologize about the delay. Actually, while that's pulling up, let's go into this video. Here's how this all started. And a lot of you may not know that this has been a plan that America's had for quite some time to go in and rob Venezuela of their natural resources. But that's always been their mission. They're trying to use this fighting a drug war and Venezuela being the main culprit as a cover for what they're really trying to do. And I can't talk and chew bubble gum, so let me just...
10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just...
And let me pause this and tell you who this is. This is General Wesley Clark, for those who aren't familiar with him. This video came out quite some time ago. I want to say almost 10 years ago. And well, I'm going to let him explain what he explains. It's real brief.
About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the joint staff who had used to work for me. And one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail."
That's crazy.
So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs."
And listen to this part right here.
He said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon."
So right after the invasion in Iraq, he got a memo that explained to him how they were going to take out 7 countries in 5 years. And the memo reads,
Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran.
Let me go back. All countries we are currently at war with right now.
Iran. And then Syria, Lebanon in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran.
And he didn't have Venezuela on there, but they are on this list.
I said, "Well, don't show it to me." And I saw him a year or so ago, and I said, "You remember that?" He said, "Sir, I didn't show you that memo. I didn't show it to you."
I'm sorry, what did you say his name was?
I'm not going to give you his name.
So go through the countries again.
Well, starting with Iraq, then Syria and Lebanon, then Libya, then Somalia and Sudan, and then back to Iran.
And Venezuela again is on this list. Now I do have my presentation pulled up finally. Sorry about that delay. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Trump sends Navy destroyers to start war with Venezuela. And I just felt this picture was fitting for the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because gas is what this is all over. You know, the natural resources that Venezuela is sitting on top of. Okay. How this all got started. If you remember during Trump's first presidency, he threw a coup on Venezuela. Then tried to deny it once it failed. Let's get into it. Trump denies ties to Americans linked to Venezuela coup plot. Two citizens among dozens arrested by Venezuela after a beach invasion allegedly aimed at overthrowing Maduro. Okay, this is from Al Jazeera, so this is the source if anybody wants to go look this up and read this in its entirety. And it starts. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that the United States government had nothing to do with an alleged intrusion into Venezuela that landed two U.S. citizens behind bars in the crisis-stricken South American country. Trump said he had just learned of the detention of the pair, accused by Venezuela of being mercenaries. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said they were part of an operation to kill him that was backed by neighboring Colombia and the U.S. Given the amount of lies that the U.S. has been telling their own people nonstop, you know, I'm more inclined to believe Maduro at this point. Let's keep it moving. Whatever it is, we'll let you know, Trump told reporters in Washington. What? What kind of answer is you? So he doesn't have any answers. He says, yeah, that's not what we were doing. I don't know anything about it. So that's wild. And this is how this is what's been going on with this situation. The situation that's happening right now isn't the beginning of this with Trump, and it's not going to be the end of this, period. And this is the one bipartisan issue that these people never fight about. You know, when it comes to taking the oil of the Venezuelan people or natural resources from black and brown people anywhere on the globe, it's like that's one thing they never debate about. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to giving black folks money, anything of the nature, you know what I'm saying? We have to study this for years. Somebody's calling me. Gotta hit you back, fam. Yeah, so that's the situation here. Let me get back to this so I can play another video. More of how this started. I'm going to play a video of Donald Trump flat out saying, hey, y'all got the oil, baby. We coming. You know what I'm saying? For the people who think that this whole situation may actually be over him being some leader of a drug cartel, which it isn't. The thing that surprises me is Colombia is closer. Colombia is on top of Venezuela. Why not invade Colombia? You know what I'm saying? If we're really trying to stop the drugs. And then it begs the question, is the border really secure? Or are you lying? You see what I'm saying? We have to do all of this. I thought you had this. I thought you had the borders locked. How is the stuff getting in? What do you mean? Make it make sense, Donald Trump. Because the math ain't math. You feel me? Let's get into it. Here goes the video for y'all.
Buying oil from Venezuela. When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door. But now we're buying oil from Venezuela, so we're making a dictator very rich. Can you believe this? Nobody can believe it. You know where the oil, their oil is garbage. It's horrible. The worst you can get. Tar.
And first of all, that's another lie. We're going to get into that.
You need special plants. And these.
That's a lie. Then he tries to downplay what they have. Like that's not what he's there for, even though he said that's what he wants from them. Let's play it one more time.
How about we're buying oil from Venezuela? When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door. But now we're buying oil from Venezuela, so we're making a dictator very rich. Can you believe this? Nobody can believe it. You know where the oil, their oil is garbage. It's horrible. The worst you can get. Tar. It's like tar. And to refine
and again, let me show you how this is a flat out lie from Donald Trump. Okay. Flat out lie from Donald Trump. share my screen and get back to my presentation. There was a point in time where we had to go borrow oil from Venezuela. Anybody remember that? Drop a one in the chat if you remember the time where we had to borrow oil from Venezuela. No? Anybody remember that? Okay, I'm about to get into it. I asked ChatGPT, was there a time when our sanctions against another country made prices go up and we had to ask Maduro for oil? Does anybody remember the time that Russian sanctions messed up the oil prices here and we had to go beg these people whose lives we've been trying to ruin to help us? I remember that. Do you guys remember that? I remember that. Let's get into it. Yes, ChatGPT says that actually happened quite recently. In 2022, after Russia invaded Ukraine, the US and its allies imposed heavy sanction on Russian oil and gas. Since Russia was one of the world's largest exporters, those sanctions caused global oil prices to spike. Gasoline in the US climbed to record highs, over $5 per gallon in some places. And at the same time, the US had already sanctioned Venezuela's oil sector, which meant Venezuelan crude wasn't reaching global markets either. But with prices soaring, the Biden administration sent officials to Caracas in March 2022 to meet with Maduro's government. The talks included discussion of potentially easing some sanctions so that Venezuelan oil could help replace lost Russian supply. So, yeah, he's lying right there. Oh, it's tar. Their oil's trash. Like, we was begging these people to help us and send us some of their oil. By late 2022, the U.S. did grant Chevron a special license to resume limited oil production in Venezuela. Again, notice Chevron. What Donald Trump is doing and what many presidents before him have done as well, Democrat and Republican. Again, like I say, this is a bipartisan issue. They've used the U.S. military to go around and steal natural resources from people around the world. That's what we have here. For corporations who are bribing them, such as Chevron. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And the article ends, so yes, U.S. sanctions against Russia drove prices up. I don't like the grammar that ChatGPT is throwing at me today, but we're going to rock with it. Okay, U.S. sanctions against Russia drove prices up. Oh, yeah, that's correct. And that in turn pushed Washington to approach Venezuela for oil, despite years of trying to isolate his government. And it's funny that even ChatGPT acknowledges how we've been trying to slight them over the years, you know, and that's me being nice about it, you know, using the word slight. Okay, let me come back over here and pull up another video for you, because before we move on, we still have a little. Oh yeah, you remember when that shit happened? Yeah, that shit was wild. And they were trying to bash. I'm not even gonna get into that. That's a whole nother episode. So let me stay focused, because I'll get to ranting in this bitch. And that's, excuse my language, and that's not what I want to do though. I don't want to rant. We get too much of that on TikTok and everything else. I just want to stick straight to the sources, straight to the facts. Video file. Pull up another video. Again, when I say this is a bipartisan issue, this is the one thing Nancy Pelosi didn't make a funny face about when Donald Trump gave this speech. Y'all remember this speech when she got up and tore that piece of paper in half and tried to act a fool? And, you know, this is the one thing that nobody argues about behind closed doors.
We are supporting the hopes of Cubans, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans to restore democracy. The United States is leading a 59-nation diplomatic coalition against the socialist dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. Cubans, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans to restore democracy. The United States is leading a 59-nation diplomatic coalition against the socialist dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro.
Socialist dictator. Because he shares his wealth with his people? He's socialist? I digress. Yeah. She ain't acting a fool right there.
Maduro is an illegitimate ruler, a tyrant who brutalizes his people. But Maduro's grip on tyranny will be smashed and broken. Here this evening is a very brave man who carries with him the hopes, dreams, and aspirations.
And this is when he acknowledges Juan Guaido as the real president of Venezuela. You know, this is who they want to install after they send troops there, seize the land, and get after the natural resources. They want to put him in because he's going to do business with America on America's terms. You know what I'm saying? So again, this shit is, it's funny they do this shit right in our face. I mean, it's not like I know how to stop it, but like, damn, these niggas is gangsters in suits and ties, man. And this guy's a fucking idiot. Is my camera on? Can you see me? What I'm saying? This guy's, excuse my language, I don't know if you guys have kids in the building, I'll tighten up. This guy is an idiot. He's dumb. I didn't vote for him. I'm an independent. Vote green. You know what I'm saying? The only party that had reparations on their ish. But yeah, you know what? Let me stay focused. Let me go to the next video. I got more for y'all. We don't need my opinions. I'd rather let the sources and facts speak for themselves.
Their oil from Venezuela, they have to pay a 25% tariff to do business with the United States.
Is that on top of existing tariffs? So, for example, China.
Yes, that would be on top of existing.
45%
That would
tariffs
mean,
on China next week.
that's on top of existing tariffs, yes.
And what this is extortion. He's saying, hey, if you don't buy American oil, anything you come buy from us, we're going to tax you on. Like, this is extortion at its finest. This is like, you know how you see the dealers on the block and the drug wars going on in your community? I don't know if you, a lot of y'all may not be tapped into the streets. I still am lightweight. I know these people, so I see what's going on. To me, this is the exact same thing on a bigger scale. If you don't buy our work, you know what I'm saying? When you do business with us, we're going to run it up on you and we're going to run in your pockets. If you want any deal with us, you better buy our oil. The sanctions on Venezuela are making it hard for these people to live. America is literally trying to starve these people out, making it to the point where they can't get their own natural resources from the land and produce them at the volume that they would like. That's something that we're gonna have to dig deeper into. I wish I had the one shorty on here who be in the chat, Tiffany, man. She know a lot about that. I'm gonna have to grab her and see if she'll hop on the next one with me. What's up, Ray Ray? How you feeling today? Yeah, hear me. I said seize the land. In a sense, we know they're gonna go in, they're gonna put a new regime in, put their puppet president Juan Guaido in. If seize the land is necessarily the accurate terminology, no. You know what I'm saying? So forgive me for that. I don't want to confuse you. That's more a term we use when we're talking more ancient times. I guess we can say Israel is Israel seizing Palestine right now? Is that what, could we call that a seizure of land? Drop a one in the chat if you think we can call that a seizure of land. If I don't see any ones, I'll know I'm off the mark. Okay, yeah, I wanted to pull up the next news video. I got to get a little smoother with this. What's this one?
Buying oil from Venezuela.
Okay, yeah, I already played that. Oh, I didn't rip this one, huh? 1 second, 1 second. Okay, next we have Pam Bondi. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry. I had some technical difficulties. I accidentally hit X and closed out the whole window. I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back. Okay. I was about to play Pam Bondi. Let me pull it up on a new tab. I showed you I showed you where we started. Now let me show you where we are. Here's Pam Bondi. If I can get her on the screen. Pam Blondie. I heard somebody call her that today. I thought that was funny. Pam Blondie. Okay, here we go.
50
We
million.
started over.
Today, the Department of Justice and State Department are announcing a historic $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Maduro uses foreign terrorist organizations like TDA, Sinaloa, and Cartel of the Suns to bring deadly drugs and violence into our country. To date, the DEA has seized 30 tons of cocaine linked to Maduro and his associates, with nearly 7 tons linked to Maduro.
And here,
himself,
you know what? Hold on, I gotta
which
pause
represents
this.
a
I didn't think I
primary
was gonna pause this. I just thought I was gonna play this. But how do they know the cocaine is linked to Maduro? Like, did it come with did he sign off? Like, what do you have that says that? They're never gonna tell you that. But this is just what they'll come on here and say that. That's why I made sure to show you all the times where Donald Trump called this guy out, where he said that he wanted to just, they're in our backyard. They got all that oil, baby. This is why I showed you this. So that way you can see right through this and recognize that this is bullshit. These motherfuckers are lying to you. Most of my political episodes, when I come on here, I'm just going to be showing you them lying to you. And I'm a pothead in Cleveland, Ohio. If I could recognize this, I know you guys can recognize this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm nobody special. I'm no political scientist. I know when I'm being lied to, though. I have a good memory. I remember what they said last year. Like, they act like the internet doesn't exist. Like, we can't put these videos together and compile them into a podcast and show where they're backtracking and going back and forth. Like, it's very easy in 2025. I think that's why they're trying to push this whole censorship thing. Again, that's another podcast. Let me stay focused. Let me let Pam Blondie go ahead and finish.
Source of income for the deadly cartels based in Venezuela and Mexico. Cocaine is often laced with fentanyl, resulting in the loss and destruction of countless American lives. The DOJ has...
And again, I don't want anybody to think that I'm for drugs or fentanyl coming into America. That's not what I'm trying to defend, and that's not what I'm saying. And if you formulate a response that sounds anything like that, then I know you're not even listening to me. Cognitive dissonance has probably kicked in. I definitely want those things stopped. I don't think that those things are happening at the hands of Maduro is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying today. Okay, let's keep it moving.
Over $700 million of Maduro-linked assets, including 2 private jets, 9 vehicles, and more.
What?
Yet Maduro's reign of terror...
They just robbed Maduro. They about to do him like they did Gaddafi, y'all. They about to go in there, rob, raid, loot, and pillage, strip him of everything he owns, take all the wealth of the country, all the gold Venezuela has, coming back over here to the vault, baby. You know what I'm saying? They about to do him just like they did Gaddafi. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? And a year from now, 18 months from now, 2 years from now, you're gonna be able to rewind this podcast like A1 was saying it was gonna happen. Like, I ain't think it was really that. Yes, it's really that. It's really beef in these streets over the natural, over I say over a pack, over some work. But the natural resources, that's what they're making their money off of. That's their dope, I should say. You know what I'm saying? That's what they moving. Again, I just showed you Donald Trump trying to tax people who do business with them. He's throwing sanctions on them, making it hard for them to actually get the natural resources from their own land. On top of trying to throw a failed coup. Y'all say Donald Trump's a failure. That's one of the things he definitely failed at. The coup in Venezuela failed. I know that's got to be embarrassing. Like, how did y'all mess that up? Y'all had one job. You know what I'm saying? All right, here go Pam Bondi.
He is one of the largest narco traffickers in the world and a threat to our national security. Therefore, we've doubled his reward to $50 million. Under President Trump,
$50 billion. Okay. And it's funny because he claps back and says, I got 50 billion for you to release the Epstein files. You know, and this could be all one big distraction for the whole Epstein situation. It's of course I want the release of the Epstein files as well. It's not something that I really thought was going to happen. You know, I had gotten so content with it never coming out when the Democrats were in office. You know, it's not really something. I didn't think that shit was about to come out. Donald Trump, I don't know if he really wants it out or if he's pump faking. I know it's a bunch of damn Democratic judges blocking that shit though. So, and again, it's a bipartisan effort to keep that shit hidden the same way it's a bipartisan effort to go and take the natural resources from black and brown people across the globe. So it seems that child trafficking is just something that all of these motherfuckers is into. You know what I'm saying? We can't throw a stone at one side on that one. Yeah, damn, man. It just sucks. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. That's not something I hold against him as being the worst because I already gave that to Joe Biden and them when they didn't release it. So I can't turn around and double down and be like, oh, no, he's the worst for not releasing it. Like these people ain't give it to us for a whole, how long? Told us hell no to our face, blocked it. And you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't have a short memory. My memory is very good. I don't forget what these people do. So I don't know. You know, I don't forgive these people or forget. I don't know. And that's just where we are with it. Again, my little baby rant. I apologize. Let me keep it moving. Hey, my rants be getting the viewers up though. Let Pam Blondie finish. Here we go.
leadership, Maduro will not escape justice and he will be held accountable for his despicable crimes. If you have any information to bring this criminal to justice, call 1-202-307-4228 or go online.
Shout out Pam Blondie. And yeah, that video's on TikTok. TikTok has some good-ish sometimes. You just gotta know how to vet your sources. Again, that's Pam Blondie. It's coming straight from the horse's mouth.
Nothing
With
beats
Democratic
Jet
judges.
Holiday. And right now, you can
Ray, we're gonna do a podcast on it then. You gonna come on the show with me? We'll go over it.
And right now, you
We can
say
talk about it.
nothing
We call them all by
beats a
name.
Jet 2 holiday.
Okay, let me
And
stop
right
this.
now,
Nothing
you
beats
can
a
say-
Jet 2 holiday. That's crazy. She got famous on that and was going on tour with her tag. Only in 2025, man. Only in 2025. Okay, let me get back to my slideshow. Where was I at? It actually went away because my computer glitched and I had to fix it. Okay, I'll pull it up like this. Make it easier to slide through. U.S. sends 3 warships toward the coast of Venezuela. Maduro mobilizes 4.5 million militia members. Okay? The mobilization of U.S. military assets follows Washington's recent decision to increase the bounty for Maduro's capture, doubling it to an unprecedented 50 million US dollars. And I apologize, I said 50 billion earlier. It's 50 million. Last week, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced the seizure of assets worth 700 million US dollars from the Venezuelan head of state. 700 million dollars. The reward is only 50. They snatched 70 from him. 700. Oh my God. They are going to do this guy like they did Gaddafi, y'all. They're going to, and if he does any, like, let's say he wants to clap back, he can. His hands are tied. We'll bomb him so quick and paint it on the news like we're in the right. When this is wrong, man. This is wrong. In an official statement published on Tuesday, the Venezuelan government said the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela observes with total clarity the desperation of the United States administration, which resorts to threats and defamation against our country. Washington's accusation that Venezuela is involved in drug trafficking reveals their lack of credibility and the failure of its policies in the region. Again, I'm gonna get to the end of this and I'll explain why I said it again. In response to the increased U.S. military presence in the Caribbean, President Maduro announced a plan to mobilize 4.5 million militia members across the country. This would be a part of a plan of peace with militias that would be prepared, active, and armed, the leader said on live television. Maduro then further urged his political base to mobilize in rural and industrial militias, rifles and missiles for the rural forces to defend Venezuela's territory, sovereignty, and peace, he claimed. And shout out him, man, for doing what he gotta do. Cause they done backed him in. I mean, what can you do at this point but defend yourself? They robbing you, they stripping you. He can't step off his land and defend himself. He can't come over here with that because you already know we're gonna nut up. But again, it won't be too long for we see this guy being drugged through the street, beaten by a mob of people who were of his own people who were paid by America to do it, you know, the same way that we saw Gaddafi, RIP Gaddafi, man. Um, let's pull up the oil reserves and see who has the most oil out this joint. Because I want to show you why we're really over here. Again, this has nothing to do with drug cartels. If you see right here, it says, oh, it doesn't say it on this article, but we have 70 military bases in the Caribbean. Like, how are the drugs getting through? You guys don't got the border secured, Donald Trump? Are you lying to the American people every day? Is that what's going on? So the border's not secured in. That's what you're saying. And we need to send 4,000 troops to go fight his 4.5 million. You're sending these Americans to their death. Donald Trump is sending 4,000 troops on some boats. What are they going to do? I digress. Let me get to this. Okay. Share my screen. And some of you may be familiar with this website already. It is called Visual Capitalist. Is it showing? No, it's not. Let's do this. And here we go. Visualizing the countries with the largest proven oil reserves. And this was published 2 months ago, June 26, 2025. You guys can go check out this website, Visual Capitalist. And as you see right here, let me make this just a little bit smaller so it all fits on one. There we go. Countries with the largest proven oil reserves. Okay, and this is by the billion barrels. Okay, this is by the barrels. Let me see what you guys see. Perfect. Let me take this down. Okay, we got Saudi Arabia here with 267 billion barrels, and it's funny because Saudi Arabia doesn't even have the most oil out of all the countries. You know, most people think that they do, but as you see, Venezuela has them beat. We have Iraq, 145 billion barrels, took them over. Kuwait, same thing at 102,000. Iran, that's the country that, excuse me. Iran, we already know what's going on with Iran right now. Trump is trying to find any reason to keep beefing with them. It's funny because they call him the president of peace, but the record doesn't reflect that. I was telling people, hey, give them a chance because we already know what we're going to get with the Democrats. You know, if you're going to stick Republican or Democrat, give him a chance if you're going to if you're voting because you don't want wars to happen. But he's ended some, started more. So yeah, he's a piece of ish that, you know, I can't F with for those reasons. The reasons I said give him a chance on those things, even, you know, he was lying about what he said, but the Democrats were already committed to these things happening, and they were upfront about that. So, you know, with that being said, I just couldn't in good conscience look myself in the mirror every day knowing I voted for him. I would have sat at home on the couch before casting that ballot because, I feel like my soul's on the line. I feel like that ballot is me participating and giving the okay for that ish, and some people may disagree with me, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But yeah, let me keep it moving. UAE, they got 113 billion barrels. Russia, 80 billion barrels. Libya, we already know, same thing with them. Took them up out of here, 48 billion barrels. Then we got the US with a measly 74 billion barrels. We're the lowest. We're not the lowest on the totem pole. Libya was, but now it's us, Canada right next to us, 163. He's trying to make Canada the 51st state. It'll never happen. That's just comical when he says shit like that. I don't even take shit like that serious. I just laugh. Other people get upset. I'm like, why get upset? It's like some things you're not supposed to even take serious. But yeah, so that's why we're in Venezuela. This has nothing to do with this fake war on drugs. Okay. I need you guys to recognize that. While I'm here, let me pull this up. This is Maduro addressing his people. Oh no. Maduro mobilizes 4.5 million military reservists. I don't want to play that song. This is not the video I wanted to play. I apologize. I had made a folder of stuff that I thought was important for this episode. And here's the last one. Then we're going to be up out of here.
This game, you're not ready for.
Make sure you smash that thumbs up, smash that bell, and hit subscribe so you get notified every time we go live so you don't miss anything. Appreciate everybody.
Is cracking down on drug cartels at sea. A source briefed on the matter tells NBC News the U.S. is planning to deploy these 3 warships near Venezuela. President Trump focusing on drugs coming to the coasts after reducing illegal border crossings to record lows.
They continue to send drugs into our country, Venezuela. Yeah, they've been very nasty.
The Trump administration also recently doubling to $50 million its reward for the arrest of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, saying he violated U.S. drug laws. Meanwhile, in the fight against traffickers, the Coast Guard says it
he violated U.S. drug laws from Venezuela.
Accepted more than $138 million worth of drugs in the Caribbean this summer. Earlier this year, the president designated several cartels, as well as the notorious Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, as foreign terrorist organizations. And despite pulling off a large-scale prisoner swap with Venezuela last month, President Trump has been increasingly at odds with Maduro.
He's prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country and to bring those responsible to justice. The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel.
Who is the American government to tell anybody who's the legitimate government of another country? We can't even agree on our own elections. Is somebody supposed to come invade us? What is he talking about? This stuff pisses me off. The audacity of us as Americans, and anybody who repeats this type of rhetoric, like you're fucking slow. Excuse my language if you got kids. I'm going to tighten it up. Yes, this bothers me. He's the illegitimate president. We can't even get our own elections right. We still beefing about the 2020 election. They saying Elon rigged this one. I hope that don't get this took down. I shouldn't have said that out loud, but we can't even get our own ish together. But we always trying to tell somebody about their stuff. It's ridiculous. Let me let Pam Blondie go ahead and finish. Oh, this not Pam Blondie. This the other girl.
Now, the Venezuelan government has banned drone flights throughout the country amid what it considers a threat from the U.S.
I would too.
A U.S. official tells NBC News the warships will be used for intelligence gathering and surveillance in international waters.
What is going on
Maduro
with his
just announced that
left
he's
eye?
Mobilizing militia
My
members
right side.
will be
Let's
used for
look at this
intelligence
again.
U.S. A U.S. official tells NBC News the warships will be used for intelligence gathering and surveillance in international waters. Still, Maduro just announced that he's mobilizing militia members across his country in response.
He looks serious.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated.
Okay. Yeah, again, you know, said, please, my kids are gangsters. Hey, you funny, Ray Ray. Yeah, it's wild, man. Donald Trump using the American military to go around and steal natural resources from black and brown people around the globe, as many other presidents have done before him. Again, like I say, Donald Trump isn't some special anomaly. He's not doing anything that we haven't seen before, even the deportations without due process. Like, we've seen that before. I remember when I was tripping about that, people were telling me to shut up, though, because it wasn't a Republican. You know, granted, it's a Republican now. I'm not justifying it. I'm still against those things. I call people who are only upset when a Republican does it, but not when somebody else does it, like a Walmart activist. I'm like, yeah, they're here for the immigration fight now. As soon as Trump's gone, they'll be gone. And we'll still be sitting here fighting immigration. Like, dang, where'd everybody go? It's like, oh, they don't care no more. They just wanted him gone. Like, oh, okay. Team you revolutionaries, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna be here on the ground with the fight. You know what I'm saying? He's worse. And we're going to do a podcast on it. We're going to get into it. You know, I'm glad you guys tuned in today. I'm glad you guys chimed in. You know what? I'm going to drop the link in the chat. And if anybody wants to come up and say a few words about anything, we could turn it into an open panel. I don't care. I'm pretty much at the end now. So I just want to be able to get through my slides and stuff before I start letting people on, because sometimes the conversation can get diverted from the original topic real quick. Okay, here goes the link in the chat, and I'm gonna pin it so that way everybody can see it. There it goes. If anybody wants to come up here, you know what? I did have a little bit more on my slideshow, so let me remove this. Let me go back to my slides. I'm looking pretty damn good today, if I do say so myself. Okay. Here we go. And here's where we left off. Boom. Wait, did I read this? Yep, I read that. Speaking to allies at a political event on Monday evening, Maduro affirmed to defend sovereignty. Our seas, our skies, and our lands are defended by us, liberated by us, guarded and patrolled by us. No empire will come to touch the sacred soil of Venezuela. Hold on for a second. Let me pause my camera because I got to move around to read this. Boom. Okay. Nor should it touch the sacred soil of South America. No empire in the world. He did not mention the U.S. ship deployments. The leader did, however, question the presence of U.S. military bases in Colombia, which he qualified as a humiliation to the history of independence in the region. I agree as well. If they're independent, why do they have American military bases there? That's a sign of occupation. I digress, though. We'll keep it moving. There are approximately 76 U.S. military bases in Latin America. But according to the U.S. Department of State, the U.S. provides security assistance to Colombia to promote the country's stability and security. What they're doing is they want to be right on top of things in case somebody's doing something they don't want. Why send a missile? We already there. You see what I'm saying? And that's what he's saying. We got 76 U.S. military bases, but drugs are still getting through. The border's still not secure. So you capping to the American people every day, Donald Trump? You capping. The math ain't mathing, bro. Some ain't adding up. Okay? In 2024, the Washington office in Latin America signed a letter urging the governments of Colombia and the U.S. to stop a proposed military project on Gorgonia Island, located in the Colombian Pacific. There are no active U.S. military bases in Colombia. Okay, yeah. Bunch of BS. The rest of them citizens. Okay, that's the end. Oh no, Maduro's response. Yeah, I already read all that. Okay, yeah, I'm at the end. So, yeah, that's where we at with it, y'all. We stealing. These niggas some thieves. We can't keep our hands off the natural resources of other people. I don't know what else to call this, but the American way. Because is this what we have to do to keep our gas prices down? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, because when we put sanctions on another country, our gas prices went up. So it seems like without stealing and robbing and overthrowing other countries, we don't have a leg to stand on out here economically as a country. That's scary. That's real scary. Okay, and we're gonna go to a word from our sponsors today. We got an ad by Hemi. Hemi got some ad space on the podcast. Let me get to that real quick. And we're out of here, folks. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you hit that bell and that thumbs up on your way out.
This is all not the regular dream of the water blood.
Wait, this is
Holy
not
Spirit,
the right.
I see me up.
My bad, Hemi. That's the wrong one. Wrong one. My bad, Hemi. I had grabbed that one to grab the picture off of there. And then I end up putting it on this. Here you go. Straight vibes. Salute everybody who tuned in, man.
If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. Know what I'm talking about? I ain't moving off hype. I'm moving off him. I'm a body, but I'm locked in. Let go. My body filled up, I ain't lacking. Holy Spirit sleep, had me dancing and attacking. Devil in the way, then you know we get to clapping. Ephesians 6, so the whole squad packing. I'm on my body, I be walking in the flames. Isaiah 54, ain't no weapon got a name. Moving in the spirit, I ain't worried about the shame. Covered in the blood, I be stepping unashamed. I be stepping like David, got the praise in my feet. Had to kick a lie, trying to whisper in my sleep. Every move, holy led, I don't dance all deep. I be shouting in the spirit while I slide on the seat. On like Paul, when I pop out, I'm protected. Tried to flex and flesh, had to learn I was rejected. Now I'm spirit checked, I ain't moved by affection. Lieutenant 19, not your sharpest with no question. I was down bad, now I'm up in my zone. Took the devil's lies, turned them all into poems. I'm out of my body, but I'm right where I belong. Shouting hallelujah with the squad to the throne. I find my body filled up, I ain't lacking. Holy Spirit sleep, had me dancing and attacking. Devil in the way, then you know we get to clapping. Ephesians 6, so the whole squad packing. I'm on my body, I be walking in the flames. Isaiah 54, ain't no weapon got a name. Moving in the spirit, I ain't worried about the shame. Covered in the blood, I be stepping unashamed.
Pressure cut the diamonds on my wrist. Pressure cut the diamonds on my gift, yeah. Pressure turn me up into a pit. Pressure turn me down so you can turn up. And when you turn up, they all gon' burn up. Lord, you said that my parents was gon' be here. Lord, you said what I proclaimed and it's gon' be clear. I don't know what they mean when they try to team. We get to dumping like some fiends. Will you move a sling? Bible told her, big body floater. Let your light shine everywhere I go to. Let your light blind everyone who go to dark places. Let them see their own faces in them crawl spaces. I keep it way too much OG, my nigga. Tell me, how do you consider it's gon' be, my nigga? Ain't gon' go down that way. Yahweh or no way, Yahweh or no way, no way.
My body filled up, I ain't lacking. Holy Spirit sleep, had me dancing and attacking. Devil in the way, then you know we get to clapping. Ephesians 6, so the whole squad packing. I'm on my body, I be walking in the flames. Isaiah 54, ain't no weapon got a name. Moving in the spirit, I ain't worried about the shame. Covered in the blood, I be stepping unashamed.